Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports, day number 2 of the Pro League. We have gone through 2 of our matchups, and we now enter the arena for the final time tonight. It's going to be Rise versus eUnited, and Jacob, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, you got me smiling ear to ear because I know no matter what happens in this matchup, no matter which way our predictions go down the line, we are 100% without a shadow of a doubt going to be entertained today. And that's something when I look at Gears Esports, I kind of look at it, you know, I have too many friends in Gears Esports. I have Kenny, I have Identives, where I'm chopping up out of events, I'm rooting everybody on, I'm coaching everybody on, trying to give them tips from what I see in person. But at the end of the day, man, I just love some sweet old good Gears of War action.
I understand that fully and totally. Look, you've got friends. I've got favorites. You know how that goes. Everybody knows how that goes. But we're going to take a look at some of my favorites with our first roster in the matchup. It's going to be Rise's team of Detox, Avexys, Icy, and Rushiez. And they might have had a slow start last night, but they definitely looked way more impressive through the second half of their matchup. What do you think of this squad coming into this season?
I mean, I think they have all the tools for success. They reached the grand finals. They let it slip out from their fingers, unfortunately, in one of the greatest grand finals that we have ever seen in the history of Gears Esports. They have aggression. They have Detox, the jack of all trades. They have Icy, who's one of the most clutch players that we've seen throughout different Gears of War titles. I'm not talking Gears 5. I'm talking multiple Gears of War titles. And I think as long as they can continue to play and build off of that foundation that they build since the roster change, they're going to be A-okay in my book.
Well, let's see if they can continue to build off of it against the team that they're about to be faced with, the team that is one of the best to be assembled in this offseason. It's going to be eUnited. They're going to be led by Powers and Kenny Bounce, and they're going to be joined by 2 former players from the Hive roster in TJ and Demise.
Yep. 2 guys right there, TJ, Demise, like you said, joining from that Hive roster. 2 very, very up-and-coming, hungry players. And I say up-and-coming very, very loosely. They've been around. They've won some championships already underneath their belt. But I just remember, like it was yesterday at one of these past events, Demise just getting eliminated. He had his head down, kind of defeated himself. And I told him, boy, you better pick your head right back up, because guess what? It's only going to be a short amount of time right around the corner to where you're in these grand finals. You're in this position in which you're seeing your opponents go on. And since that moment, Colin, they've seen nothing but upward trajectory. And you surround those 2 with some of the greatest players in the history that have completed perfection just a few seasons ago in Powers, and in the Egg Ban himself, Kenny Bounce, who's won championships in many different Gears of War titles. He's literally the example, the definition of hard work paying off in this game. Honestly, I think you said it. I said Rebel might have one off season. This is another one of those teams that have making a case for them winning off season as well.
Well, you spoke about him, Kenny, being the bar that everybody has to live up to. Well, let's take a look at how good the blueprint was just last night against Fire and Ice. Look at that KDA of 4.17. My man was basically live a whole map. He just running around, killing whatever he wants to do. Doesn't he just look good, by the way? Shout out one time Letnick for locking that down. I mean, swear to God.
Yeah, those stats are just almost inhuman. 4.17. He's literally the reason, the cause for a full team wipe almost any time he runs out of a spot. Literally, he's a one-man wrecking crew. And that's saying something. So I know, Colin, I think you kind of called him out being one of those guys that really has to step it up here for this eUnited squad if they want to find some success this season. And you have 3 of the hungry slayers, Demise, TJ, and Powers, and you're putting up those kind of stats, man. He not only answered your call, he FaceTimed you the day after and said, Colin, you got what you wanted. Now what do I get?
I mean, if he's going to be giving me that kind of performance for the rest of the season, I don't know what I'm going to owe that man. I said earlier that if he came collecting on his retro charges, he'd be getting a house right now. I might have to give up a farm for that boy. If he came to my door, if he's going to put up a 4.17, shoot. I'd be like, you want my firstborn while you're at it? You can have the farm and her. I don't care. You can have them both.
The firstborn while you're at it. I think he's going to wait a little bit.
He'll probably wait a little bit.
He's probably waiting for his own right there. But hey, if you got any other farm animals out there and one of them isn't named K-Bounce, man, then he's definitely going to come collect it. I can name it a chicken. Get a chicken and name it Kenny Bounce, please. Can you imagine the chicken just bouncing around in the coop, laying eggs? Perfect.
we have a peacock named Kenny. It's one of the rare breeds though. It's one of the silver ones with the gold flecking.
He is a rare breed though.
It's a 1 in 1. It's like a 1 in 150,000 chance to actually get that to happen. So I said, look,
it's like
look. Based on who we are seeing in front of us between Regency, I like that. eUnited not afraid to let Rise have Regency. Rise last night struggled early, but came back to really dominate that map on Regency, and then we see them pick Canals. I like this setup, actually. This is a very unique setup. We haven't seen a lot of Canals, and we haven't seen a lot of District, and eUnited gets both of those in this matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be, on paper, one of those matchups that you think United have what it takes to win, but honestly, we haven't seen too much of Rise during the off season, during the preseason, to kind of really just get a gauge of where they're at right now. And I think this is going to be a great test. This is a very historical matchup between these two teams, or at least the majority of these rosters. And so I think when you kind of look at it, you almost have to throw that paper out. You know, Rise is going to come out. They're going to be aggressive on both of these control maps. So I think it's going to be up to eUnited here, not only to win the executions, but possibly taste Vasgar as well.
That's going to be a tough task and a tall task to order up against a team like Rise, but here we are with the pressure squarely on us again for the prediction segment. I don't know who went first between you and Taylor, but I mean, they didn't bring it up. Never mind. I mean, production. How you not already have that box filled? How you not?
I'll just go ahead. I'll go ahead. I think this is going to be a great matchup. I think throughout yesterday and today, we've been gifted with some great matchups. Besides, that first kind of 3-0 by Oxygen, they really showed up here to play. But at the end of the day, I don't care if it's eUnited, BUnited, CUnited, DUnited. I got eUnited taking the series 3-2.
Woo! You got us going to another map 5. Look, I really would be the curse because my power goes out and y'all get a hot 3-0 in the first one. Every series I've been for last night and tonight have gone map 5. So I mean, production probably gonna hate me, but y'all gonna love me out there because y'all know you get them extra hours, them extra points. Come on now, give it up for your boy being a map 5 champion. Let's see who chat has decided to go with. Is it Rise or is it eUnited? And we're all on board with eUnited. But I know there's a few stalwarts out there. I know there's a few people in chat that have probably put their house of points on Rise.
I didn't see the breakdown.
Look, my boy Woo Smoke and my boy Complex, they have got to be betting on Rise. If I find out they didn't bet on Rise, I'm coming at their throats, all right? I'm coming for them.
Hey, rightfully so, rightfully so. Them Rise fans definitely do run deep. And I like the way they're kind of like realistic about it. They know when their team's going through a slump. They know when their team is performing very, very well, but they never lose an ounce of that passion through and through. So for Rise and a lot of their fans, they might look like an underdog on paper, but this season has shown us a lot of that paper means absolutely diddly squat. Last season showed us the same. So it's about who shows up when it matters most. And in just a few seconds, when these players are rolling out of spawn, that's when it truly matters most.
And we'll get to find out as soon as they roll out of spawn on Regency as we are getting into that first game, that map number 1. We'll find out just which team is favoring the power weapon. Look, we know that both of these teams have quite a few players that are very deadly with the M-bar and, of course, with their defensive setups, whether they have all 4 players or not. We're going to be able to find out what happens here as both teams are going to be getting ready to go to war. And I just love the way this map plays. How it might be a long map. It might be one that a lot of people, it's a little bit too wide open for them, or the angles might be a little bit too hard to come by, but we'll find out exactly what's going to happen here. Let's take a look at what eUnited decides to do. And eUnited sends TJ, and to his left, they're going to have Kenny down there as well, taking over the Rose Garden. And Powers comes through the front middle door. 4v4 down here. Nobody plays the M-bar.
Wow. And basically, whoever wins this one is basically going to have the least amount of chance to go ahead and try to capitalize on that M-bar. You see the spawns coming through at the top half of the map. They're leaving that one for Avexys. They know how much of a difference maker he can be. And I like this route that Rise is taking off with the fresh respawn as well. They're taking control of what would be the next half of the map, the next respawn, catching TJ slipping. Detox gives them a man advantage as well if they want to try to attack the hill simultaneously.
Here we go with Detox coming up the middle of the stairwell. Gets a big shot onto Powers, but Powers hits the up A onto him. 41 points already netted for eUnited here on that first hill. Icy has to hop out of the cover and try to save his life behind that windowsill, but it looks like Avexys has really saved their skins going into this next hill as he gets the M-bar shot to ring out and come through to fruition. 13 seconds left on this original P1. But we'll see what they can do here on this retake. Is 5 shots left for Avexys in this M-bar. Anybody they pick up coming through the middle of the map, it looks like eUnited might try to go for a little overload here and try to get in a position to take the close spawn away.
Like I said, very, very early, even though they did lose that initial 52-0 to kind of start this game off. Positioning what they had off of that fresh respawn to rotate over to the top side of the map to try to put and cement themselves towards this next hill, but Flash at the right time is going to buy his teammates some life. Rushiez, multiple downs coming through. He's going to continue to hold on to that Cryas with Icy, with Avexys. They down multiple players out, 3 players to be exact. Powers spawning towards the top side of the map, and he's just going to have to park the bus. He has to wait for those freshly eliminated players to come off of respawn to figure out where they're going to make this push come through.
And Rise can actually get a lead here with this hill, depending upon how long they stay here. Flashes are going to come out. Smoke coming to the window to try to cut off the sight line. Good little mark out on a Demise. Keeps him tagged up. Avexys 2 shots on to TJ, excuse me. Powers tries to rotate in, but Avexys shutting everybody down left, right, and center. Kenny tries to fly in to help out, and there's a good retake by eUnited, but 25 seconds left, and they're going to leave 1 player in the hill to count up some time, but they're going to send Powers over to pick up that M-bar, and it looks like Rise is going to set up for the next hill as they are already going to the bottom left.
Yep. Where this rotation hill for hill is going to come through, and you can kind of see they're only able to get 20 seconds onto the side of eUnited before they have to start to make their push to go through. 2 players getting towards the back line, 2 more eliminations being picked up. eUnited finding those eliminations. There goes a 3rd to boot, and you see the fresh respawn players. They're leaving 1 by himself. That is going to be Rushiez here in this situation. Battling back. He gets taken out. That's going to be a 2v1 successful. And that's going to be big for eUnited because Rushiez was just buying time for his teammates to get in a position to at least try to make something at the tail end of that battle. But he didn't buy enough time, so they're going to be forced to really kind of go back and forth, like I said, onto these hills.
We see Kenny set up in that hill already. He's going to be challenged up by Icy, who's at the bottom of the stairwell. 1 kill at the top side of the map will help out, slow down the retake from Rise. A little bit of about a 66-point differential. Powers hits that body shot and puts Rushiez on skates with a 2nd shot. Beautiful job there getting the kill. Rise has to be careful not to get in such a big deficit that it's going to be almost impossible for them to come back in. They are giving up a lot of time over to the side of eUnited. 40 seconds until the new M-bar respawns, and it looks like 2 players from Rise are going to try their hand yet again to the top side of the map. And, yo, that is cheeky. That is, I mean, that was just cheeky.
1 shot left in the chamber. Big score line in their favor as well. Powers with a perfect flank opportunity. Demise goes down. That's back-to-back kills picked up by Rise. Powers gets shut down as well. Rushiez with the hat trick. That's going to be a triple kill, and at the right time as well. They don't want to go down 100+ points into this matchup, especially against this new look eUnited. They're more aggressive than ever before, so you have to figure out which ways, how you're going to get it done to figure out to stop this bleeding, to stop this aggression to come through. This is another opportunity for Avexys to begin to heat up with that N-bar, and he does almost immediately taking out TJ, which earns more time for them to collect and more time for them to funnel around the members of eUnited.
Well, there they get the first down there. Detox is going to get 1 on Demise at the bottom Rose Garden side of the map, and they have P4 under control right now, and they have enough time to get it within about 20 points if they stay here for the entirety of this time. Revving the M-bar to the bottom door. They see TJ throw the smoke, and the mark comes off, so they're not exactly sure how far he's moved up, but they know that the neutralization comes through from the front side of the hill, and you can see the early shot over the top of the cover, and TJ moves in now, gets the big shot out. Powers and TJ have taken over the back, and from the middle of the map becomes, I believe, Kenny to help out with the downs. No, Kenny was all the way over here, keeping Icy busy. What a teamwork situation by eUnited to get 4, now 5 straight kills on Rise and retake the hill.
Confirmed visual. big for Rise here. They don't want to continue to get doubled up. Like I said, once you go down 100 plus points, that puts you in desperation mode, especially when your opponent does eclipse that 200 point mark. So for Rise, you got to be lucky right now that they don't have that extra 41 points to put that extra bit of pressure. Once again, they also control the hill, the surrounding position as well, but the spawn point goes up towards eUnited. They have the high ground, and they're going to be able to kind of make these moves. And this is where you have to start getting offensive. You have to start hitting those shots for Rise.
Detox is going to be here with Avexys. Detox with a shock can block out one of the retake lanes from eUnited, depending upon where they want to throw it. I believe they're going to have to use it to take out this back lane. They're going to have to try to block off that 90 degree, and that's exactly what they do. They're going to drop it at the feet of TJ, and they're going to rotate back toward the middle, but I mean, Demise must have hit the best frag on the planet as he gets the double kill to the backside of the hill, and now TJ goes down, or excuse me, Detox goes down as well. Icy dies. I mean, that is just another full team wipe, and Demise picks up a brand new M-bar. They are looking so fantastic right now. They are up by almost 100 points. They're about 80 points ahead in this situation. Another 10 seconds or so, and they will be up in the 100-point club, just making it that much more difficult. And once again, Rise has decided to early rotate, give up what's left of this hill, and there's the trade out to Powers. I mean, that's just simple math, right? Like, Powers says, I want the M-bar, and you're like, okay, I'd do that.
Trying to take a breathe, kind of feel it in where the next rotation is going to be, because Rise, they're just getting shut down left and right. The angles are just constantly there. They're forced to back off of numerous power weapons to hold what little positioning they possess, but that just makes eUnited stronger. They have M-bar, both sets of weapons with the shot grenade and the frags. One's going to be dished out, forcing him into Power's hands, where he's going to clean up the elimination regardless. And then Kenny gets one as well. Kenny gets two as they continue to steamroll the members of Rise. One player left on the hill. He has some backup coming, but he needs to be able to buy them time and survive these angles, which honestly, you have to give up everything in order to survive.
You see Powers playing to the backside of this cover. He sees the flash coming in, tries to hit a little angle there, that little bit of spacing on that first cover. They're going to back up into the backside of the hill. Powers throws out what I believe was a flash to help get a stun. They've got the angle for the 90 degree. Powers hits an up A there on one player, sees the down, trunks him out, and now it's going to be up to Icy, who's full red and bleeding, down by Demise and taken out. They swarm back into the hill, and with what's left of this hill, they will get up to 250 or so, and Kenny very smartly holds that close spawn for the one player of eUnited that needs the respawn. They get it to go, and now Kenny will rotate through the bottom side of the map, go for that shock, maybe even come up on a flank. Big shots over the cover. TJ has to worry about three more players, hits one, then rotates over to the front side of the hill. Won't get a second. Power's still alive. Shows off the flash for just a moment. Drops at his feet and then scurries away. I'm sorry, but that just looked comical. Like he just held the flash out around the door like, I'm about to throw this at you guys.
I like what they're being able to do. They're slowly but surely.
It looks like Avexys will still continue to fight out here with the M-bar, getting a headshot, going toward that next hill.
And this late in the game, even though you've been kind of down almost 100 points, it's better late than never to be able to kind of pick it back up. We've seen bigger comebacks happen before. Heck, we've seen a 3-2 comeback just moments ago with the Pittsburgh Knights taking out Rebel. So impossible means absolutely nothing here, especially if you ask any of the fans, any of the players on Rise. So Avexys, though, with his opponent getting frag grenades, possibly a shot grenade here in a few short moments as well, they're definitely going to have to come up big on the defensive side of things with 50 seconds left on the block.
Yeah, 50 seconds left. Here comes the first M-bar shot, misses on Demise, gets a headshot there on the Powers, that, and then gets the heady onto Demise. That is huge for the side of Rise. Kenny will kill the M-bar, which might buy them some time, but Kenny all by himself now has to play defense. Good first shot there. Now a big body shot onto the next player. He's going to have to continue to try to keep his life and momentum on his side. They're going to leave him to bleed out, but it looks like eUnited is going to take a chance to... Looks like they're going to take a chance here, where they're going to set up for that next hill early, just like Rise has most of this game, and try to play defense.
Ooh, Power's getting shut down here by Detox, who's continuing to stay alive towards the backside. He gets shut down, though. You know, that next hill, we're finally reaching the cycle of hills that we've already seen to start the game. So you know the next one's going to the top right half of the map. And this is where eUnited can try to swarm and sandwich these players, and they do. They secure those eliminations. They got the rotation from Powers early on towards the top, so they're going to have already the footing. But this is where you see the overextension go through, returning to the scene of the crime. You don't want to give up a free shot grenade, and TJ's there. He gets the signal. They get the shot grenade. They get the elimination, and Rise knows the mismatch is here at the top side of the map. They just have to go and take advantage before eUnited finds time to get the reinforcements intact. They found the time almost immediately.
You see, it looks like Avexys trying to move up into this hill, trying to get a shot onto another player. Good roadie straight, but finally gets taken down. M-Bar shot out of Rushiez, gets the kill, and now he's going to move in for the final blow here. He's going to try to get a kill onto Powers. He has to go back to the back side of the hill, but he's going to go down. Powers down as well. They need to get one of these kills to solidify some more shots, but Rise, they're coming in one after the next and just getting wiped away.
Yep. And everything was just looking so sweet and so good for them as they were chopping down at that lead, which was over 100 at one point. But now with their backs up against the wall, they know they cannot get lackadaisy in this situation. The more time that they give up this late in the game makes it that much more impossible for them to come back with a frag grenade. Finds Kenny deep in towards the back line, but Detox gets taken out. The trades will resume. Demise falls. Powers as well. 1v1 for the hill, but Avexys is getting flanked, so 1v1 no more. TJ comes out on top. eUnited secure the remaining 20 seconds of this hill, but I don't think they're going to get that. That will be the silver lining for Rise.
Let's see what they have here, what's left of this map. I mean, as eUnited continues to just put the pressure onto Rise, 36 seconds before a victory here in map 1. Detox will go down. Looks like TJ just flew at that down, got the second down on him. One more down onto Detox, and he'll be down and out for a start down and out. Kenny with another big flank here, trying to apply pressure from the opposite side of the hill, continuing to put out damage, continuing to make life hard for the members of Rise, making life easy for that last player coming in. I believe it was TJ to get those 2 kills, and now they get the hill, but they do not have the close spawn.
That's really important. They have to basically maneuver on the raft. They want to continue to defend it, but TJ is being a force in his own mind until he's shut down by Detox. But that's what Rise has earned, the spawn point towards the top. So you already see the difference as that player immediately is back into the action, but less than 20 seconds remain before eUnited take map number 1. Powers with a big flank trying to stop this push from coming through, but he gets caught out. 2 more downs, but quickly revived, but it means nothing as they brute force their way through. Detox trying to be the hero, 1v2, but he is out of there. 10 seconds remain, all up to Icy and the rest of Rise here, even if they have enough time, depending on if they do. Only a few short seconds. 1's going to be denied. 2's going to be denied as TJ picks up a double kill and eUnited close out map number 1.
Yo, PR, you know how I know Ribs is a former player?
Oh,
my man backed off. He went to a little ghost cam. He came off the back shoulder of that player because he said they ain't got enough time. Like, my man knows, even as a retired professional player, he knows how long it takes to get from that spawn point to that hill. He said they ain't got enough time to get there. I was gonna go a little cinematic on him. He went cinematic on him, and I was like, my man Ribs ain't gonna stay up there on that. He ain't gonna stay up there on that block. He not gonna see us get that kill. And I was like, oh wait, he just smarter than all of us. Like, he just knew what was happening before we knew what was happening.
And you can see the differences, the changes. And it goes without saying, when you lose explosive, you lose praise. That's something that is almost priceless. It's very hard to replace something like that. In fact, you can't replace it. You just got to find the next best thing. And I think that they're doing a good job in finding what they think is the next best thing with TJ and Demise. They take out a little bit of strategy, lose an explosive, but they get a hell of a lot of offense to kind of back up Powers. Then you have Kenny, who takes a lot of pressure in being the brain of the squad. But as you saw those stats before the match, as you saw the match before our very eyes, he can back it up with the rest of them. So a 1-0 lead for eUnited over Rise. Going into execution, are there any keys to success for a Rise comeback for you?
Rise is going to have to be very good at Canals, especially because of the fact that now they have the double snipes back on Canals. So you've got to deal with Powers every single round, having a free long shot in his grasp if he so chooses. It also changes up the fight genetically because now you don't have so much pressure to get that mid-bridge control early on. It's going to be a matter of just getting a couple of early kills and execution, because it's going to play so much different than control and escalation. the thing to me that was scary, and I don't want to say scary necessarily, but normally Rise, they start slow and then they heat up and they make this gigantic comeback. It seemed like every time Rise thought they were going to like go for a run kind of thing, it was just like eUnited just chopped their legs off the knees.
Yeah, and that's something that for Rise, you can kind of boil it down for a few aspects. I don't want to dig too deep into it. We got the rest of the series to kind of go on, and things can change at the drop of a hat, like you've already seen in our previous one. But it could come from a little bit of rust. You haven't seen too much of them. I know they don't necessarily stream their scrims. I haven't seen too many of the individual players and wagers like I were before. So this could be a little bit of cause of not necessarily playing the game in preparation for this pro league to go through. But I don't think eUnited cares a single lick if they're prepared or not, because they're here to dominate, whether they're going up against a prepared Rise or an unprepared Rise.
And right now, I think an unprepared Rise, like one that's still pretty much, I would say, out of practice, honest to God, because of the fact that we saw last night, Rise got taken to the brink of map 5. They were taken to task, and it was one of those things where me and Taylor, we both talked about it. We said, you know, neither of us have really seen Rise put in a lot of off-season work. We haven't seen them really come rolling out of spawn a lot, and that seemed to come back to almost haunt them. They could have easily started 0-1, had up in for a couple of great performances by a couple of different players, especially Detox and Avexys on that first series. They come here, they start slow yet again, but instead of going up against Oxygen, who has had some of their inconsistencies, and tonight they didn't look inconsistent at all, they go up against an eUnited team that was dominant in the Challengers qualifiers tournaments and is now started off with a 3-0 victory over Fire and Ice. So they got to be feeling good, and this eUnited's got to be looking scary.
They're definitely looking like a new look eUnited, and like you said, it's scary only because like I know the history of these players. I know the history of the different iterations of the roster, and honestly most of the eUnited rosters and the history of them being or even touching Gears of War has been scary. During that Optic Dynasty, it was a former eUnited roster who almost toppled them out and took them out before Envy had that opportunity. But Icy gets that first down on a TJ, backed up by Rushiez and Avexys as well. They solidified 2 of those eliminations, so a 4v2 will ensue here. But Powers has the sniper. He has an angle on 2 different members, so he definitely could make something happen here.
And right now, the way that he and Kenny have to play this, he has to be careful not to get picked off, and he's going to push across and get called out, and Kenny is in no man's land to help him, and Powers is going to have to be crazy here to try to get a shot to go off and get a kill, but he doesn't get one there. This is exactly what Rise needed. They had to win the first couple of rounds early in this one. They have to get some momentum on their side to be able to put pressure on eUnited to try to make it 1-1 going into Escalation.
See the replay going down. That was a great effort. That was a great effort that you don't necessarily see every day with eUnited trying to push towards the top half of the map. But honestly, new map here with snipers being added, frag grenades down low, torque up top. You got a feeling of deja vu. You best believe you do, because this is very, very similar to the Gears of War 1 loadout, which is why you see a lot more up top strategies, and where you see one yet again with eUnited favoring that top half of the map.
Takes a long shot there from the middle bridge, and Icy TJ getting pressured out full ready. Might go down. He has to scurry all the way to the backside. They get one down here. They're going to have to try to clean one of these up. Good job on the Fortify there to get his kill. Big shot out by TJ, leaving one player left alive for Rise. It's going to be Rushiez here playing into this back pillar on this back connector area. And they were swimming like sharks and tasted blood in the water. They tie it up 1-1.
Tied up indeed here, as eUnited have that one map advantage. Really surprising. I think they might have surprised Rise just a little bit. Not what they expected coming out of that one, but you can really see the impact of those snipers going down. Those body shots, very, very crucial. Headshots even more so, but I don't think we've seen a very, very impactful sniper just yet so far, especially this season, as it is fresh as can be. But eUnited still favoring that up top strategy. Getting that mark on a Power is going to be huge. They know exactly where the sniper is going and when, but the charge is going to come into play. Avexys feeling that pressure, trying to at least take one with him, but he gets nothing, and first blood goes on over to eUnited.
Big shot out on the misroll from Powers. He gets the easy kill there. Icy has to go up top now. Him and Detox, 2v4 situation, and Detox is in no man's land. Again, this is the thing that we saw a few rounds ago from eUnited. Very separated, and they have to play in a pretty precarious position now. Detox, he's in the bottom. He picks up the torque. He lets everybody in. God knows where he is. And now he just has to scamper and scurry, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to go his way. He'll go down eUnited 2 rounds in a row.
Yep, it's going to be big 2-round advantage because when do you got to answer? Is it 2-1? Is it 3-1? When does Rise begin to feel the pressure? Right now, they're playing the very, very basic strategy, even if it's Gears 1, where you send your 2 players down low, trying to take control of that middle bridge. But when are things going to be switched up to where they start playing into this new map and how it plays on Gears of War 5?
And right now, the sniper rifles have been a big part of both teams' success when they have had to use them. Powers versus Avexys is really the matchup you're thinking about. Powers, any shot he hits is going to be huge for his team. Splash is out in the middle. Powers tries to line up a heady, but won't be able to get it. TJ over the top trying to get one. Avexys trying to answer back with one of his own, but both players in the mid-bridge down now. Rushiez has to worry about Powers, and he turns it, burns Rushiez with 3. Get him the ace, ladies and gentlemen. Can he do it against Kenny? He gets a little help from Avexys, but he gets all 4 in the kill column. He gets the ace here in round 4 to be able to tie it back up 2-2.
Yeah, it's very, very important that they don't let them get away with it. As you can see, Rushiez picking up a triple kill. You kind of call it an ace, even though that 4th one was assisted by Avexys. And this is where Rushiez last season, he did get a lot of flack. It was coming from very many things that went wrong with Rise. And I don't think a lot of them were down to one individual player. But unfortunately enough, he was the one that did receive a lot of that pressure, a lot of the reasoning with him not heating up from what people are used to seeing, especially when it comes to productivity out of Rushiez. But a mad dash, Rise finally switches things up, sending 3 players towards the top, a flank towards the bottom side. If Icy gets it, he's taking out Kenny, evens this one up to a 3v3. TJ goes down, flash grenades to create separation, but Demise is going to fall. Him and Powers are backed up into that lone corridor, but he has the sniper in hands, and that is going to be his one true hope.
Shot over the top, still hasn't gotten to be able to return fire here. Looking for this little headshot angle onto Rushiez. He's going to get the body shot, takes him down to 20. Misses the second for the down, though, and he really wanted that to be able to get that down, be able to pressure up and push up. TJ playing through the bottom side of the... Hey, yo, Detox, that was nasty, dog. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, Colin, watch this.
Oh my goodness.
Completely does something like that. And those are the momentum shifters. A 2-1 lead by eUnited, quickly stamped out by 2 quick back-to-back rounds by Rise. One of them we talked about was a quick Rushiez ace going through. And honestly, sometimes it's those aggressive players. To set it with oxygen, you could probably kind of see where the team is kind of playing into by spotting out certain players. And Rise could be telling if it is going to be Rushiez. But I might be speaking too soon. 2 up top from both teams, though. Rushiez being one of them. Avexys rotating that sniper against Powers. Have to watch every step they take, and that is exactly why. Lining up one, connecting with Powers, goes back to back, connects with TJ as well. Almost gets the hat trick with headshots, but honestly, I don't think anybody can say, oh my God, he gets it anyway. He gets it anyway, taking out Kenny. I can't believe it.
I'll be right back, Jacob. I'm gonna have to.
Oh my God! The slow motion. I love the slow motion. Woo! I went right through the arm or something, right through the elbow, past the arm.
Ready to get your hands dirty.
I'm gonna have to talk to you later, man. I just, you know, I can't even deal with myself right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
It's okay.
I gotta, you know, I gotta change my wardrobe, baby. I gotta change my wardrobe.
Sniper.
One was connecting with that one. Unfortunately, when these teams kind of lean into that sniper strategy, if they lose the initial fight with shotguns, they put themselves so far into a hole. This is exactly the result. Vex is unable to connect, losing some teammates very, very early on in the round. And he can't even get to the fight in an instant. He has so much traveling to do before he even has his first exchange.
Man, I tell you what, if I ever hit 3 headshots like that, man, I'd have probably vomited. Like, I'm still, like, I'm in awe. Like, that round was too quick for me. I needed that round to be, like, 2 minutes, man. I can't recover. I can't recover. I feel like I've been punched in the face, and the ref didn't wave it off. He didn't put me back in my corner. The round wasn't over. I couldn't tie him up. I don't know who I am or where I'm from. Right now it is 4-3, and Rise are 2 rounds away, but they're hoping to not let eUnited tie this bad boy up. Of a lot of damage there on that first player, and they get the kill there onto TJ. Starting things off in a 4v3 situation. Now it down onto Kenny comes through. Last 2 players going to be Powers and Demise, and Demise will go down, but Powers will find himself 2, and it's all the way back to a 1v1.
I'm trying to think. Powers versus... that's a big body shot. Oh, an even bigger shot by Icy. I said it before the game in the team intros. One of the most clutch players throughout many Gears of War titles. With ice in his veins, he does it again.
I bet you don't even got the American pants on, dog. He's just chilling it out. You think he does? You think he runs?
I think it's a possibility.
Is it those, or is it the red basketball shorts and the Timbs? Which is it?
Maybe a mixture. What if he has the American pants with the good old flannel?
Oh my God, yo, that's a different level, Icy. You don't mess with that, Icy. That's like Sunday Major Icy, dog. That's almost as crucial as like red track suit and white do-rag like sneak back in San Diego.
Dude,
that was whole new level
during that. That was a whole different level of energy that was unmatched that event. But Kenny forced to roll towards the bottom. Honestly, with down a man, you'd think their backs are against the wall, but if he can escape with the torque, oh my God, almost getting ahead of myself, thinking he might have connected with that one. Powers trying to thread the needle, getting the elimination, but he comes up short. In fact, both of him and TJ come up short, and Rise will take the map. Going to a 1-1 series, 6-3. They're back into it.
We're going to be able to see if Rise can keep their momentum in map number 3. It's going to be Escalation. Can they take the lead away from eUnited, or will eUnited strike back? Find out after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports Pro League Day number 2. We are in the midst of our final matchup of the night, Rise versus eUnited. eUnited strike first on Control with a great Regency map. But Rise, they had an answer, and they said, look, you might want to take us to the Canals, but you best not better believe we got snipes for days.
Snipes for days, ages, you got aces, multi-kills. It's an overall entertaining show throughout the day, let alone this one matchup as Avexys threats yet another needle. This is just absolutely insane. I'm trying to see right. Did he get it like through the shoulder, through the gap on the neck from his teammate? The fact that he didn't get his teammate at all.
I'm insane. I mean, my man had it. My man had it. All right. This was still, I mean, I just love how Icy stopped. Icy was just like, okay, you good. You hit me with that body shot, but I hit you with the 2 shots that counted. They go. Go ahead, baby. No. After you, baby.
First 2 maps, you had eUnited really just aggressively assert themselves, Regency control. You have Rise who kind of answer back. Very, very similar fashion on execution. Vasgar Escalation, something that has very, very elements of both of those, with it being a round-based game mode and then objective-based game type. Have you seen enough for either one of these teams to toss your hat in either direction?
Toss my hat in one direction. You think? Do you mean? Do I think one of these teams has momentum, or do you mean like? Do I think one of these teams is gonna win? Like, where are we going with this?
But both. Do you want to toss your hat in either direction? Do you think one's definitively gonna gain momentum? Do you think one's gonna take the series? Do you think it's too close to call?
Did you forget who you were talking to in the last 20 seconds again?
I did.
Like, are you blacking out?
I feel like you're just eUnited all the way, no matter what happens, no matter if eUnited's down 0 to 96,412. He's like, eUnited still got it.
They got it. And it's not even.
They still got it.
It's, you know, they got a shot, man. If Kenny bounces on the map, they got
playing with a broken controller, 8 buttons missing, not even replaced, just missing. Yeah, they still got it.
If Kenny's alive, they got it.
They still got this.
Hey, yo, Powers. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Making a miss like that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
if that ain't a way to prove a point, Colin, I don't know what is.
Like, I like how Kenny or Powers is just gonna cap up the hill and he's just gonna back out. He's like, all right, I'm gonna give it back up again here in a second. Demise gets that kill there on Icy, but he's gonna go down to the Lancer Fire. TJ goes on the wide flank to try to get the angle there. I'm not sure. Oh, Powers is back in a 1v1 with Rush again. It's the second time Powers is trying to take this, and he gets a decap here, and now he knows that he's going to get help from the backside, from the spawn. Yeah, I mean, Rushiez can take that fight however he wishes, because even though eUnited has won the B hill, they're getting downs and they're getting kills. They're going to be able to fight right back against the Tide. So it's like eUnited baited them into a double trap. It was like, all right, look, we're gonna get Powers between two players, and now we're gonna get them to push up onto our second half home hill and get them between two more players. Kenny tries to double bounce into that next shot, and he's gonna go down. Triple cap domination is gonna get threatened here momentarily, but I'm not sure if it's gonna get to go through because Rushy will be by his lonesome at the A hill.
Ooh, that's a big down to go through. Rushiez, oh, he needed to be able to chunk one of those two players. Ends up in a 3v1 and pays for it in the end, but that 2-to-1 hill capture should be more than enough here in a few seconds. So maybe about 30 seconds if it goes uncontested for them to take the lead right back away from eUnited. But that second hill goes back in way of eUnited. That's the home hill of Rise. So eUnited is not slowing down. They're just waiting for these moments to where they can just insert themselves behind the enemy team of Rise, but they're doing the exact same thing. A double neutralization going down for both of those only home hills, but only one's going to be able to go through. Rushiez gets shut down. Big damage from Icy to stop TJ dead in his tracks, and you can already see the effects of that. They go ahead and extend elsewhere at the top half of the map and gain control of both of the home hills.
And now we see Rise with the C and the A movement. eUnited picks up B. One player off a spawn. That's going to be Demise. He goes back up to the A hill, but he realizes that it's a 2v1. He's going to have to wait for his teammate. It's going to be TJ and Demise on one side of the map. They're going to look to try to have some help from Powers here. Powers trying to go to the middle of the map and Lancer out to help out. But look at the way TJ played that through the middle of the map. And with Powers' help, his Lancer over the top, they get one kill. Now they're trying to solidify the other. Meanwhile, eUnited has won the fight over at B momentarily, but it looks like Icy, he'll get the last laugh onto Kenny as he gets that kill and the decap. And as much as this is going back and forth, eUnited will have no points coming in their way, and they actually left the player alive. Yo, if I have to say it again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, you got to make sure you clean up those eliminations on the ground. eUnited with a second shot at life here, staving off multiple players to keep this one going. Flash grenade is going to stun out Detox, but a counter flash keeps him going, keeps him alive. But a great shot by Kenny. Flanks are on the way from both of these teams. Kenny's just spying time, trying to wait. He gets down. Detox turns against both of those players and shows him what he thinks. No, not in my house. Every day of the week, you will be denied. And he makes it rain, saying this is the amount of cash I might have secured after that victory.
Hey, yo. Detox two nights in a row, Detox has made a play that, like, I didn't throw nothing this time, but I could feel it. Like, it was bubbling up in my stomach. I was about to throw something, but I don't even know what. It might have been this keyboard, which would have made the voice of God happy. It would have made the voice of God so happy.
The restroom. You something's bubbling up in your
I'll tell you, he giving me the bubble guts with how good he is, boy. I'm telling you right now, he's giving me the acid reflux with how good he is. I'm like, did I eat a ghost pepper? Or is that just Detox on my screen?
Just like what you have to do after this match, they're just flushing their opponents down the toilet. And Rushiez, he gets the call. Two players bum rushing him here. He's trying to back up. He has some help too with Avexys, so it's going to take a little bit more than just seeing those two players run. But Flash is on the other side of the map. Detox, Rise beginning to get aggressive, but they're on two different sides. One takes advantage. First blood goes to Demise, and second goes to TJ as they earn themselves a neutral hill. Back-to-back exchanges going down on the other side, narrowing down to a 1v1. Kenny versus Avexys, and the egg himself will come out on top.
Well, what they come away with here is a chance for triple cap domination, but Kenny's not going to get it. He's going to go down to the Lancer, and eUnited has to scurry off back to play some defense. And this is a situation here where it's going to be weird to try to play defense for eUnited because they only have one player at B and they only have one player at C right now. They're trying to get a second over to B to try to take a 2v2. But actually, it looks like TJ is going to go through the middle of the map. And right there on the top side of that ledge, Detox is going to go down. Kenny is going to have an angle here. But it's not going to matter much because it looks like Rise got the call out. And Rise turned and burned onto TJ. And Rise again with a 2-to-1 hill advantage.
Catching them tiptoeing behind enemy lines at the wrong time, but they find Avexys out of position as well. That's Powers, that's Demise being aggressive, trying to take back the home hill of Rise, which they can certainly do while simultaneously taking back their home hill. So if they didn't lose that neutral, if Kenny didn't go down and still fight for it, we could be possibly looking at a triple cap domination. But because of Detox and the rotations being made from Rushiez as well, they get the neutral. They make another rotation so they can 4-man push to get their home hill back. If eUnited notices this and can position themselves early, this could be a shutdown on the side of eUnited.
Here we go. Demise trying to bounce up into one player. He's gonna get the down, but no chunk. Now Powers is gonna put himself in the danger zone. He goes down. TJ goes down. 3 dead in a row, and Kenny's like, all right, guys, I'm at the B hill by myself. I'm gonna try to cap it up, and I'm gonna have to hold off 2 different players from 2 different angles. They're gonna have C here just in a few moments, but Kenny is full red. He's bleeding at this point. He's going to need some help over the top here very quickly. Pulls the snub. They get the down onto Rushiez. He's going to get quickly revived by Icy. Rushy and Icy inside of the B hill. Get the triple cap domination to come through. 2 rounds in a row. Rise really heating up here.
Yeah, great turnaround from that control matchup where you saw eUnited just getting the upper hand yet again. And it almost looks like they're shaking off the rust with each and every individual battle, each and every round that passes. They're just getting that much more better, that much more heated up in this exchange. As he retros finally making its appearance. And honestly, it's very, very hard to change up this map in terms of weapon placements. It's hard to try to switch and stray away from the ordinary, because once you put that sucker down center line, you're giving your opponent just as much of an opportunity to fight for that weapon as you have.
Here we go to the round number 3. Retros will be out for both teams. Powers will have his, and Avexys will have the retro here over the B hill. A little bit of a Guardian point of view here. He's going to be playing Guardian Angel, as he'll be able to pressure anybody that pushes out from that back tank. He's going to go for a long throw with this flash over the top. He's going to be able to get it to land near Demise, but not going to be able to get that down. Now he's going to push up, and look at all those stuns coming through. Picture perfect stun from both players from eUnited. This could be a triple cap domination here. Demise picks up the meat shield. They're going to have 3 players barreling down on C. This could be the first round they answer back in.
Yeah, it definitely could be. 3 players there trying to cap it up, not even give them a hope, a shot. Get that reset to go through. Just a short few inches away Icy was, but honestly, it'd be hard because he's possibly getting chunked out, forcing his teammate into the same exact scenario. But 2-1. Rise still lead and have an advantage. Even with Rushiez right now, 0-7, having a little bit of rough game in terms of slaying, but with those 8 assists, he's definitely making up for it somewhere.
Rushiez with no kills and 7 deaths. Like you said, the 8 assists making up for it in some shape, form, or fashion. He is helping his teammates, but they really need to get some more production out of him and Icy going forward if they want to be able to solidify this map number 3 to try to take a 2-1 round, a 2-1 map count, excuse me. You see the shocks being placed out by both teams. So no more retros. Both teams deciding to fully upgrade to a utility grenade early in this one. Both of them will be picked up, and the only big difference here is I don't know if the shock is necessarily the play when you're going back to that side for Rushy. Maybe you leave him with the retro to try to, especially because you know eUnited's not going to have a retro. You leave him with one to try to challenge Powers here, because now all Rushiez can do is cut Powers' lane off with that shock.
Which, using it at the wrong time, using it too early, honestly, using it something as simple as cutting a lane off could even be detrimental towards the tail end of some of these rounds. But Powers gets angled out first. That's going to be first blood, and you can already see, even though they got that early kill capture on the neutral, they tried to make a rotation to try to help Powers, but unfortunately for them, they were too late to the punch, and now they're going to have to turn and try to make their way on the other side of the map. And what they're doing right now, while they have a player dead, is just spreading out the defense, not give them a clear indication of where they're going to attack.
2 players over at the C Hill. Rushiez is going to get tagged up. Full red goes down. The quick revive comes out. Team revives, as a matter of fact. Avexys wiggle waggle in a roadie strafe helps him get the 2nd kill. Demise trying to bounce around, trying to find one down. He'll go down as well. It's another traded down, and a 3rd player coming off of respawn. So Kenny and Demise are going to have to get this win very quickly, or they're going to go down, and they do go down. Rise is rotated over to B. There's going to be a triple cap domination being threatened. Powers off the spawn, has a chance here to get maybe a 2nd shot onto Icy and get a kill if he can get the down, and he does do it, in fact, but he's full red. Now he has to worry about Detox. Good misplay there, or good outplay there by Powers, if you ask me, onto Detox as he slides into the cover of Powers. He gets both of those kills. They're going to be able to get the A hill at least decapped and give him a chance to come back into this a little bit. Have two players at each side of the map. This is going to be a 2v2 fight breaking out momentarily. Here comes Avexys with a flash of his own onto TJ. He's going to push him back. Couple of pellets in. Kenny and TJ playing the side of the map, and Kenny's going to get caught out in the corner, and TJ didn't stop to help him.
That's just very unfortunate, but honestly, you have to think that might have been the best effort that TJ could have made. If he stops to try to help TJ, or if he stops to try to help Kenny, it could have been him easily lancered out, chunked out, and taken out overall. But instead, he was able to kind of stay alive. But Powers just cutting off more than he could chew. Overextends through the enemy spawn. He gets taken out. 3v1 advantage on this side of the map. Demise definitely has his work cut out for him, trying to defend this hill. But honestly, Rise, they're letting this one go through. They tried to bypass him, go past enemy lines. This is just allowing eUnited that much more time to come back as the 1v2 is going to ensue. Demise, finally, he is going to be dealt with, but they lose somebody on the exchange. So it's basically a 1-for-1 trade. So eUnited is not out of it yet, especially with that big battle on the neutral.
TJ gets that win there. Powers gets a win over here as well. C and B solidified up over 200 points. 15 seconds to go for a tie ball game here for eUnited. They're going to get the marks, but I don't believe there's enough time to come off a spawn and get to B or C for a neutralization. Under 5 seconds to go. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Powers on a tirade. He gets 2 more kills in the stat line. And eUnited, they have tied it up at the half here. Going into the second half of Vasgar, it's 2-2.
Yep, and that's not how you start. It's definitely how you finish. And if you look at the team's history, obviously it's not this exact very roster of eUnited, but it's usually towards the second half that they start having that resurgence in their gameplay, that they start really picking it up tenfold. And if you really go ahead and think they've been able to do the last 2 rounds and they have the potential to pick it up even more, that is huge. But you look at it again, 0-9 with 12 assists for Rushiez, and they have another player with only a singular kill. Now, I'm not pointing it out because if you look at the scoreline, it's still 2-2, but you got to imagine when Rushiez and Icy finally begin to heat up in this series, how much of a difference it could make for Rise.
Rushiez is going to push over here to the helicopter. He's going to be in the 1v1. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to be full red. Shot over the top. He throws that flash, but doesn't find anything. Now he's full red again. Powers playing the angle, but he gets a little bit of help from the opposite side. I believe that was Kenny getting the Lancer angle out. Now 2 players mounted up here at F. Icy alongside of a longtime teammate in Detox, who's been with Rise now for the past couple, for the last split at least. So they've got to have some chemistry. Kenny trying to look over the middle of this ramp to just pepper up Detox, just make his life miserable over here.
Shock grenade from the center of the map, and Kenny's just staying there because that means somebody has to deal with him. And look at the top half of the map. While that player is watching him, and that's going to be Rushiez, he's going to get sandwiched. The angles are going to be there, and now that he has his hand full, the flank is coming through. The options are there for Kenny. He can either flank that fight towards the bottom or 2v1 Rushiez. It looks like he's going to go for the latter. He wants to try to keep his team with an advantage. Rushiez gets shut down yet again. I think eUnited have possibly spotted this out. Rushiez not having the best game, and they're attacking yet again and again and again, saying, Rushiez, if you're going to defend the team, if Rise has any hope into the series, you're going to have to step it up.
Is what I like.
They get another kill here at D. They're continuing to stagger the deaths. They're going to send 1 player over to E. F Hill will get challenged and taken back by eUnited. TJ is just going to Lancer out onto Rushiez, but doubling up the score line here in the next 15 to 20 seconds will be eUnited. Let's see what they do here as they mark out 2 players on this side of the map. So TJ will call out that 2 players from Rise are going to try to rotate through the first half home hill. And Demise is coming back over to help TJ here momentarily. It looks like 1 player trying to look straight down on top of him from the top side of that stairwell. TJ pushes back up. Big shots on the Rushiez again, and he goes down.
That's what I'm saying. Rushiez right now,
oh my God,
it's looking like a crash test dummy. He's just going through it and just testing the waters for the rest of Rise. But like I said, it just shows that they're in it throughout each and every one of these rounds, or the majority of them. Right now, it's looking like it's square out of hope with 2 hills to none, seconds away from securing yet another round victory and starting off the half with a hot big victory, shutting down multiple players of Rise, 3-2 eUnited with a big advantage. And I'm going ahead and ask you, with it being this close, 3-2, and multiple players on the side of Rise having rough games, do you think there's any sort of speech? Do you think there's any moment where something needs to be said, whether if it's Affinity or if it's anybody on the Rise roster?
Nikes. So Kenny has only 5 kills to 8 deaths and only 4 assists, but he's got the most damage output on the team, meaning he's keeping play. Yeah, he's lancering, he's pistoling, he's keeping players at bay, he's keeping players tagged up as they go into fights. He's making Rise make different decisions just with damage output. And that's a invaluable statistic to have because it lets you have a little insight into what eUnited has been doing correctly. Whereas you see Rushiez, he might not have any kills, but he also doesn't have a large amount of damage output. And Rushiez this time will answer back against Powers, and that's a big kill for him. His first kill of the game and a big kill, getting that onto Powers, and it'll give them the E-Hill and the initial point advantage here.
Yeah, man, even though we're talking about his first kill of the game, those 12 assists could have been downs that he staggered out. But it's very, very telling when one of your biggest slayers, one of the historic slayers in Gears esports, from Ghost Gaming to Reciprocity to very many different organizations, you kind of look at him to be a powerhouse. So that's why you got to take note, or at least point out the fact that he's having a little bit of a rough game. But overall, Rise is never out of it. They're not going to go down, and especially not that easy. 2 crosses over the top of Avexys, putting out an immense amount of DPS. Nobody's there to clean that one up, so they're going to survive, live to fight another day. But the 1v1, back-to-back 1v1s, Rushiez in this round alone is 1-0 against Powers here. But another flank coming through from Kenny. He could try to affect that fight, but he's actually going for a Mr. Krabs opportunity, possibly.
No, he's going to get on F and get a decap, but 3 players from Rise are barreling down on the home hill of eUnited. TJ just trying to live for as long as he can to try to wait for his teammate to get an angle off a spawn to help Lancer out, but nothing there. Kenny gets that F hill. All 4 players from Rise are alive right now, and this is what you have to remember, is with Rise having everybody alive, they pretty much know where the resources are, and what they can be able to do is really rotate around the map freely and try to take whichever fight they want. They get the kill under Rushiez, they solidify that E-Hill back. Kenny is rotating through the middle of the map. He's going to get crossed up a little bit by Avexys. He has to settle down. See the 2 players from Rise trying to hold the D-Hill momentarily. 2 players already getting a shot on. They get the down. They get the second kill. Here comes Avexys. He's shut down as well. E-Hill will be yet another 1v1 between Rushiez and Powers.
This is going to be a moment. Rushiez, like I said, finally heating up, gets the touch onto the hill, staggering that death out. And like I said, he's not going to get credit for that death. So even though he only has 1 elimination, he could possibly have a bit more when everything's kind of said and done, perfecting fights from all over the map. But now he's trying to be the reinforcement that the team needs over on one side of the map, possibly even spotting out players who've been trying to make this rotation as they find 1 elimination. TJ almost catches somebody slipping, going for a back A, but the damage is there from both sides of this exchange. But it's going to be quick revives on the side of eUnited to keep them alive, but even better shots from Icy to shut down those eliminations and give Rise the upper hand once more.
Powers will be the only defense here at the D-Hill. Demise has been marked out at E, and Demise is about to get 2v1'd here momentarily. If he can't get a second player into the area to help him out, this could get ugly. Powers is going to try to tag up Detox and maybe get another down onto him, which he does with that retro. Picture perfect accuracy there. Continuing to put out a lot of damage. He is full red. Nobody pushes up onto him. Here comes TJ. They didn't have enough time to get to any of those hills to get a decap. That is a Rise round, and they tie it right back up 3-3.
And I like this effort that we're coming out, because after that first map, it was seeming like Rise is just coming out flat. Not looking like what a lot of the fans, even the players, were kind of hoping for. But after that second map, even after, you know, what we've seen throughout the first 6 rounds, I think this is exactly when I've made my prediction for eUnited 3-2. Regardless, at this point, I still think it's going to go 3-2. Where that drops and who becomes victorious at the end of the day, I hope I'm right due to my predictions, but I just want to be entertained, like I said.
Mighty fine.
Well, here we come into round number 7, and Smoke's out early, and Rise looking like they're going to go for an overload at the home hill, the F hill of eUnited, but they're going to have to roll back because it looks like eUnited called it out and got away from the initial danger of Rise's push.
Enemy spotted.
They can't defend this either on the side of eUnited because the instants in the hands of Powers are rotating around the other side of the map. So Powers trying to take advantage, and this could be an opportunity with the 1v1 scenario, depending on where the instants are at for him. It is going to be Avexys with a shock grenade, and he used it very, very early to kind of back off and buy team time. That was Powers threatening that side. You see two different 2v2s going down, shock grenade and instants on this side of the map. So this is definitely theirs for the taking, and definitely have to take it at this point. They lose both of their players on the other side of the map. A quick black A. Powers out in the blink of an eye, putting all the pressure onto Kenny to try to stay alive. And honestly, he has more than enough time though, as they have to go ahead and not decap one, but 2 hills back to back, and they're going to get the eliminations. They could get the triple cap as well. 2v2 for the home hill, 3v2 possibly with another player coming off of respawn. They're going to get the touch. They're not going to get the decap though. They need to return to the scene of the crime. Multiple players falling, and they are going to be out as soon as this cap comes through. Unless Kenny has anything to say about it, Rise will go up 4-3 on map point.
I'm not sure if the clean sweep emote is the right one for Rushiez right about now. I mean, he's trying to pump himself
Definitely
back
not
up.
clean.
I don't know. Look, hey, clean up on aisle 5, I guess, but you know, that's a self-confidence thing. He's like, you know, I'm getting myself back into this. But now both teams have instants and shocks. It looks like Rise is going to improve the timing of their shock as they... What? I ain't do nothing. Man. Yo, that scared me so much, Jacob. That scared me so much. I was like, what I do?
Grenades. I like this attempt. I like this from Rise, though. You get the double lock to go out because they want to go ahead and take that extra resource off the table. So hopefully they can shut it out here. They are on map point, 1 step away from going up 2-1 in the series. A much needed grudge match for Gears Esports.
Rushiez will come over here to the E hill after getting the easy incendiary kill onto Powers. They'll have a 2-1 hill lead and a point lead early in this round. Powers has had that incendiary used upon him. Kenny still holding on to the incendiary for eUnited. Nothing but flashes for the rest of this squad. Now we see Rushiez. He'll be mounted up against Powers yet again up top. He's going to have the surveying area, the survey look. Shot onto him. Big first shot by Rushiez as well.
You can see kind of like the tempo and the way this kind of fight developed. Kind of all-out war in the beginning. Now it's a little bit more methodical with some lantern pistol shots, using the utility to perfection. Icy on the other hand, on the other side of the map, able to find that connection with Demise, but the crossfire is there for the remaining members of eUnited. They're just going to go ahead and take him out. Triple cap domination underway. Rushiez now has to contest Powers here and possibly get the down to come through. Gets the tap reset. Knows reinforcements are there. And I honestly think Powers got that communication call out across the map. Hey, they're going to extend this round. Stay alive. Help is on the way.
Demise is trying to pull all the way back to the backside of that cubby. He gets down, and now Powers by himself is going to get killed off as well. E-Hill will be the only one they have in their favor. Rise is going to push straight into D, try to get that under their control, get the point lead back before they can come back off of respawn. 2 players from eUnited still holding off the home. They're going to push out into the spawn. They know they were about to get collapsed upon. They get 1 kill. Avexys is now in the hill. Both downs still need to be cleaned up. You see them taking shots back at Avexys. Avexys with a picture-perfect Lancer. A lot of damage being put out. Needs 1 more shot to come through. Gets the down, gets the melee off, but doesn't get either of the kills. Now here comes Rushiez. Rushiez 1 shot. Oh! Hey, yo.
Rushiez absolutely needed to go big there, because if Rushiez gets taken out, they're capturing E already. They're capturing that hill with 2 players kind of dancing around. It's up to a miracle break. Not only are they solidifying their own hill, they're going ahead extending forward onto the neutral, which they need to come back into this one. A few short seconds. The win condition is already in their favor. The lead will be here as well, as instants going out from both teams. eUnited, though, with TJ getting those instants on the other side of the map, you can already see everybody in the mini-map making rotations, but Demise gets caught out by Rushiez. Rushiez is now forcing these players to second-guess where the next play is going to happen.
Powers throws 1 flash out. Big body shots onto 1. Has to get a second shot to land, but won't be able to get it. They get the kill there. You see, it looks like eUnited might have a chance here. Rushiez playing the rat, but gets caught by the incendiary. And something that always seems to get rid of rats is either pesticides or fire. And he just did it with the second half of that. TJ gets the decap here on the E-Hill, excuse me. Hey, yo, Detox. As good as you've been for the past 48 hours, that can't happen, dog.
Hey, it's sometimes you gotta give these players a break, but eUnited coming back into this one. 4-3. Rise was definitely up, definitely feeling themselves. Rushiez has woken up, but now we're going to a round number 9 here on map number 3. Whew, everybody is being tested here today. Honestly, throughout the course of the Pro League so far, these past 2 days, every single team has been tested.
Let's see what the placement is here for round 9. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You like it? You like it? I'm liking it.
What are we doing?
Sniper and bar. I can see Sniper and bar coming out. I want to see a boom or a drop. But yeah, I want to see a boomer. And this is where, would you go ahead? I was about to say, I missed it, bro. Is that frag grenades middle? What?
I was going to say, put the claw, brother. Put the claw.
Is that still selectable?
I don't know, baby, but I'm always going to root for it. I love that claw, man.
I love it. It's so powerful.
Kenny gets the nades here in the middle for free. He's going to bounce one off the backboard, throw another one short. First one doesn't get any connection. Second one doesn't either, so both frags wasted. No connection on either of them. Powers pushes up and gets the kill there onto Rushiez. Now down to Detox. And Icy will push up and get the easy kill there, the easy cleanup kill onto Powers. 2 players here playing defense. Kenny is rotated over, gotten the E-Hill. Icy has long shot. This is very dangerous for anybody from eUnited to challenge up against. Kenny now has an incendiary to use. I'm surprised they're not rotating Kenny over to the F-Hill to have that incendiary to use against Rise when they try to push in. Icy pulls long shot back out. Sees TJ, gets him with the mark. Beautiful headshot through the smoke. And that'll open things up for Rise to try to pressure onto the hill.
Ooh, see that one barreling in from above. Just a little bit too short, honestly. At least he could have got the AoE, but back-to-back Icy. Oh, back-to-back-to-back Icy. Can you do it again? Can you get the ace with the sniper? Oh, no. But we were on board for a treat.
He's hunting. My boy
is weapon season.
Ooh, wait.
And if anybody know, Icy is probably the most person you'd think would go hunting in a situation like this, in real life as well.
Hey, look, I tell you right now, son, he's going to be out there in them woods. He's going to have the camo on. He's going to go hunting with that long shot. He's going to get a couple of shots that if he wants, he's not going to be wasting them either. Look at this. He's just waiting for him to get into that outfield. He said, I dare you, Demise. I dare you. Give me 4 for 4 right here, Bubby. Give me 4 for 4. He misses that first one. He's got 2 more shots. He puts another one in the chamber. Loads it up. We're going to keep our eyes glued to the TV right here. He's just trying to find one more. You see that F-Hill get decapped as well as the D-Hill. Mr. Krabs, a situation coming through a little bit. Icy has to pull Nasher, and he goes down. No 4th kill for Icy here in this situation, but 2-1 hill advantage. Back over to eUnited.
And just like that, the pressure has been alleviated in this round number 9, where eUnited now have 2 hills underneath their control. Kind of see Demise getting that information, spotting out Avexys, getting the reinforcement help that he needs with Kenny making this rotation. Powers getting the sniper underneath his belt. They're setting up here. They're collecting everything that they need here for a round number 9 victory. Headshot from Powers, taking out Icy, making Detox job that much harder. But Rushiez catches Powers slipping. Now it's up to TJ. TJ versus Rushiez. Shot grenade to create separation. Rushiez will get the decap, but he gets flanked by Kenny and shut down. 2 hills going back on over to eUnited, and you even have a player floating around with incense from Demise. He gets one down, possibly looking to turn and burn and take out another player, and he does it. Back-to-back kills from Demise. That's going to be the final nail in the coffin. Round number 9 is definitely in the books. eUnited come back-to-back rounds to secure it and take a 2-1 lead over Rise.
That was nasty. That was nasty by eUnited. The comeback that they had after getting, 3 people in a row get their head just absolutely blown off their shoulders, get their wig split, and they still have the presence of mind to come back. It's on the back of, I believe, TJ moving up into Icy's grill on that stairwell and getting the kill on him. He got the down, and instead of going for the cleanup, he pulled around, got that shot onto Icy as he was on the level above him. Once they both get killed off, there was very little time left on the respawn of that long shot. They get the long shot in Powers' hand. They already have the E-Hill, so they can rotate out through helicopter freely if they wish. Kenny goes back and gets frag grenades again for a 3rd time in the same round. It was just they had such a good setup. They needed to get one more set of kills. They needed probably one more good defensive stand Rise did, and everything just fell apart like dominoes. And it was on the back of TJ making yet another big play for the squad.
Yeah, you say TJ. I think Kenny just did a perfect job at the very end. It was about 160, almost close, almost tied up. He went ahead and flanked in towards the middle where the grenades, where he was floating around all game long, like you kind of mentioned. But he went ahead and got the decap behind enemy lines. That caused a huge distraction, which allowed these players of eUnited to not only to get the elimination onto Icy and stop the hot streak that was on, they were able to get the sniper underneath their hands. Kenny, fresh off of respawn due to those eliminations that his team got, he was eliminated early on. He went right back to the scene of the crime, like you said. Got those frag grenades, and from there, Rise was already done with. Multiple players down, only 2 players alive, forced to make big plays. And if that wasn't bad enough, Demise shuts it down on the last attempt. 2 back-to-back players immediately put lights out.
I mean, be honest with me, Jacob. Be honest with me, all right?
What we got?
The distraction, the comeback, the turnaround, all the big plays we guys saw made right there. And nothing is going to top the fact that as many good plays as Rise had, it was like every time eUnited had to clutch up, they did it. Is that the difference in that map? Is just every time eUnited had to get a gunfight victory, they just got it?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things to note is I don't want to call it the eUnited effect at this point in time. It's just a lot of teams letting their guard down, getting a little lackadaisy, and just not necessarily being on the same page. When a player goes towards the back line and it's only one, you need to know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. You cannot get flustered and you cannot get lost. And like I said, if things just weren't worse, I don't know how much a role it really played in the big picture of things, but Demise even shuts it down again. 2v1, taking out both of those players. So not only was eUnited able to kind of steal away multiple victories, they did it by flustering their opponent, getting in their heads, and shutting down bigger moments, like you said.
That's a big map for eUnited too, because now eUnited goes into their other map pick, I believe, in District. Yeah, they go into their other map pick in District. So now they're going to go into this next one, and they have kind of a leverage here. If they lose District, they still have a chance on Tomb. If they win District, it's a 3-1 and they walk away feeling safe and sound and happy. So I think that's massive for eUnited to be able to go into this map 4 with that kind of alleviated pressure on their shoulders, and to put that kind of pressure on a team like Rise, who hasn't had much practice this split and who has had at times some inconsistencies. The big deal for me is going into this next round, can Rushiez have a comeback map? Because right there, you said it yourself, through the middle part of that map, when they realized that Rushiez was not having a good map, it seemed like they were almost picking on him. They were trying to find him, mark him out, get a second body on him, and just keep him off spawn, because then you know you could frustrate him and try to make his life harder and try to get him to make some bad mistakes.
Yeah, that's honestly, it could have just seemingly looked like it, as there was just a lot of openings on those different points of the map. And honestly, even though he was kind of without an elimination on the stat line for a good portions of the map, when you have 12 assists, you could probably have leaved a couple of those players down. He probably had multiple opportunities to pick up eliminations, but he's playing that smart game. He's trying to give his team that extra time to make the rotations, set up if they have the hills underneath their control. But I gotta agree with you. I think this is the moment where Rushiez and even Icy, for some points, if he didn't get those amazing headshots, he himself was having a little bit of a slow game to go through. So overall, Icy's and Rushiez, they're going to need to pick it up here if they want to bring this to a game number 5. And it's going to be very, very imperative that they heat up very, very early on in the series, because you already saw it doesn't matter what type of lead you have against this eUnited squad, the potential for the comeback will always be there.
This is the first time I'm going to get to see two top-level pro teams play District. And one of the things that I'm really curious about is, we talked about it in our little caster chat, I'm curious to see how much emphasis is now placed on having the top part of the stairwell hills, the 2 bottom side map hills, simply because there is no longer an incendiary grenade on this map. For all of you at home that didn't read up and do your homework, we did do some weapon swaps. That's why you saw the snipers return to Canals, and now the incendiary that used to spawn in Bandstand, no longer there. It is now a shock grenade. You can still do an area of effect. You can still cut off the top of the stairwell, but you can no longer get that insta-gib ability. All you can do is cut it off for 10 seconds.
And you have to kind of like aim it a little bit differently. For the instant, you can kind of just pop that one with like an underhand toss, not put too much juice behind it. Now with the shock grenade, you're not going to get that when it hits the ground. It's going to bounce a little bit. It may not go exactly where you want it. So you got to be a little bit more precise. And that's one thing, honestly, Colin, thank you for kind of pointing that one out, because even I didn't even put the one-to-one together to realize how that certain positioning and contesting that hill will change without the incendiaries and that instant kill potential. Plus, you got to add in the fact if you have control of that juice with the high ground, players are going to be funneled into one singular cover if they do hold on towards that low ground. So picking and choosing which portion of the map that you gather, which rotations that you make, especially if you lose that early initial at the top half of the map, is going to, I feel like it's going to be much more important than the past iteration of this map.
It's honestly going to be a good tug of war now, I believe, because of the fact that the only spot you can really contest from on the bottom side is going to be behind that luggage or in that little space, that little cubby corner that's just out of sight of the juice. And if you're behind the luggage, you do not have anybody to lancer across from the 90-degree because you can't set up on the boxes looking into the hill because of the fact that you'll get crossed out from juice. These are things that are going to be much more interesting. These bottom hills are going to be a lot less stalemated and a lot more contention, I think. You're going to see a bunch of more fights kind of break out on these hills. We still are going to see that initial P1, though. I love that fight. In the back of the cinema, around that lamppost, it's always highly contested. You know that everybody's playing into that area. It always comes out to be a nice big team fight, usually with a 1v1 in the middle of the map over the power weapon. But both of these teams, to me, have done a fantastic job tonight already, showcasing what I would call their real ability to kind of change up play styles, whether it be offensively like we saw from Rise on Canals or over rotations like we saw from eUnited. We're getting to see a lot of looks, and this is the thing that these teams coming out of Challengers have to learn to do. These are the things that they're going to have to live up to, which is being able to show different looks.
Yeah, and one of the things as well that's a big change is that drop shot. Yeah, it's still a big impactful weapon, very, very similar to the boom shot, but you're now able to possess different angles to try to get these eliminations on your opponent. You're able to pick it up and shoot it upward into those juice. You're able to shoot it over different covers. So we talked about the positioning on towards that P2. The drop shot could be a big tool for success, getting those players out of that cubby on the top side of the stairs, possibly the juice as well. Then you can begin to try to push forward. So I do like the switch up of strategy. It's going to allow or make some teams figure out some different routes, some different holds in terms of when they want to set up or break a certain setup. And like we've seen in our early series with Monkeys just coming up short with 2 back-to-back drop shots, not even firing it off, just immediately dying with it and just kind of burning it. This is where it is going to be important that you have your weapon out at the right time, at the right moment, because you're not able to just suicide, get your elimination on your opponent and yourself when things get tough. You shoot that drop shot off, you don't have the distance, it's going to be a waste and you will still die because of it.
Well, let's just take a quick look back at the rest of this series right before we roll out a spawn here on map number 4, District. In map 1, eUnited dominated the competition to Rise on Regency and did a fantastic job. Map 2, Rise, they answer back 6-3, and I really love their fight back, especially the highlight reel we saw from Avexys. And then map 4 couldn't have gotten any closer. It was on a knife's edge, goes to round number 9, and eUnited come out on top. They're up 2-1. They look to finish it off here on District. Everybody all loaded into the game and getting ready to roll out a spawn. I hope you're as hyped for this map 4 as I am. It's going to be one hell of a contest. Let's get right into things on the back of Rise Detox as he flies into the back of the cinema.
Detox just making sure nobody can contest him on that cover. Bouncing that one absolutely perfect. Finally getting unstunned, and it almost looked like he's staring down the entire army of eUnited. First blood going over to TJ, but he is immediately shut down. This is a war in its own right with trades left and right, but Kenny Bounce will be the last man standing. Demise wins a big battle for that drop shot in the center of the map, and he goes down, but he quickly gets revived, which is important. Now it's about Demise repositioning himself, surviving with that drop shot no matter what happens to his teammate. That way he can go ahead and shut them down with a retake or a defensive stop here.
Here comes the drop over the top. It gets Avexys. It gets Rushiez, excuse me. Icy tries to hop and he gets dropped. Now it's going to be on the backs of Detox yet again. He's going to go down. 3 up, 3 down for eUnited. They get another set of slays. Look at Powers waiting out toward P2. He's going to try to set up here with his secondary teammate in TJ to start getting kills onto Rise as he tries to get the pushback against them and get them out of P2 as well. Look at the Lancer angle from Juice. Kenny will be putting out a massive amount of damage here and stopping any retake possible.
8-0, big start, and kind of see as this goes over towards the P2 hill. We can see the difference between the high and the low ground. Shot grenades already used. Kenny trying to go for a flank, but he gets caught out. Great turnaround from Rise to catch the lone member trying to make a play, but the high ground, they're going to be able to contest this hill. They got a flank going through. Avexys gets spotted out very, very early, but great amount of damage he was able to put on to TJ, but now he's getting flanked. He's able to take out TJ, so that is going to be a trade between Rise and eUnited, but the kills, they continue to fall in way of eUnited. Even a team kill happening with TJ accidentally meleeing Icy, taking him out. Detox is going to fall. Avexys is the last member alive, so the lead, eUnited will continue to build on that 50+ point lead that they achieved off of hill number 1.
I'm actually really surprised earlier in this. I'd like to go back and I'm going to have to hit him in the DM about this and really get an answer for it. I am actually a little bit shocked that Kenny flew at those kills when he had the flank and not pull Lancer and just try to, you know, poke out the damage. I'd be curious to hear what the call out was. I'd love to get that information, so I'm just going to go ahead and write that up right now. So it's going to be sitting on his inbox, all right, Jacob? And if he answers me, I'll let you know, baby.
Because I definitely do want to know what he was thinking in that exchange. He's too smart. He has too big of a head to be making that much of a blunder. And him and Demise working together. They take out Rushiez. Kenny's going to go ahead and try to bleed this hill dry, get as much points as possible before he makes that rotation. The south portion of the map, but his team is already there. They're trying to make a play, but they get shut down. Big drop shot by Detox. But even though that's a big drop shot and a spectacular play for Detox to capitalize on it, it's a great bait from eUnited. Kenny was still collecting time onto that hill. He had no intention of making that rotation, so they got them to, you know, I'm doing air quotes here, waste that drop shot early. So now when they make a real effort here, they're not going to have to face it.
Here comes Avexys standing up stout. Another flash flies at him. 2 players from eUnited in, 3 players from eUnited in. Avexys with a lot of Lancer damage, but to no avail early. He only gets 1 kill to come back, and eUnited, they go clean sweep. They only lose 1 player to the 3 or 4 of Rise, and they're going to have to go back off of respawn now and try to go for yet another retake here. And they are down over 100 points in this map number 4.
Big comeback for Rise. Not the start I think anybody would have imagined in this situation, especially after the last 3 maps we were kind of gifted, we were entertained by. Kenny is doing all he can to try to back down Icy. Powers holding onto the spawn, even though Powers in a tough situation. He's buying his team some time, but Avexys not overstepping his boundaries was a perfect play. Now he's going to stay alive, get the reinforcements there, and make a defining effort to break through this hill. But look, they're only getting 27 seconds. Rise through every step up of this matchup, besides from the initial, have been 1-2 step, maybe even more behind.
Rushiez in the back of the bandstand here. They're going to get about 15 points more. They'll get up to 30 or so. I like that shock from him. It'll get TJ out of that cubby corner and force him up into the info. And it looks like Avexys might have to take this 1v1 here in the inside of the info against TJ. And he's actually going to call out for some help. And it looks like the drop was picked up by Demise, and Demise has an opportunity to kind of pick and choose his spot. Tries to turn back and help with the snub onto Icy, but Demise chased out yet again. He has to be very careful because it looks like the spawn's flipped and Rise is on the backside of him, and Demise is like, I thought I ran to safety and I just ran to hell.
But he's surviving. Avexys and his teammate on different pages. One goes a different way, but Demise, he gets caught out. Drop shot up for grabs. Rushiez, he gets it and immediately fires it off. Unable to connect with anything, not even an ounce of splash damage. Kenny on the other side, though, is just going through it right now, and he is down bad as Icy and Detox find that elimination. Demise on the other side of the map is trying to get that cross from the 90 degree. Gets a little help from Powers as well. They get that elimination on a player who is now down and out, and they find another sandwich they want to take advantage of, and it's going to be a Detox sandwich, but I spoke too soon. One player getting taken out, and Demise is going to fall. Great effort from Detox, not only to stay alive, but to get 2.
And Avexys, he's going to be on that hill, continuing to collect time, trying to chip away at that lead, trying to get them back into the situation. A long double bounce from Kenny, tries to get him a second shot, but Avexys better in that situation with the outplay. The flash right into the face of Powers will help Icy solidify that kill. Demise at the bottom of the map gets a meat shield, but gets taken out nonetheless for his troubles. And the next hill will be up there at the Pergola area. And it looks like eUnited is going to have to travel across the entirety of the map.
I see multiple players trying to get through on the side of eUnited. Icy stuck between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't have the reinforcements to try to get out alive. They're going to attempt to try to stagger him out. That's why you see Detox quickly but surely trying to get that team elimination to come through. He needs Icy, and he needs him back bad. Great shot grenade from Rise here to funnel and stop the entirety of that passageway. Kenny now in a 1v2 situation, trying to stay alive. Shot over the top. He's going to fall. The deaths begin to get staggered, so it's important for eUnited to try to survive in this situation, but it looks like Rise are just hunting them down.
Yeah, Rise is going for a full send here. They're getting kill after kill. They're trying to get this drop shot as well. And there's a lot of time on this hill, 50 seconds, and if they stay there the entire time, they are going to get a tie ball game here. And as we take a look at the stat lines for everybody, Kenny with 13,000 damage, but he's being matched right now by Avexys up to 12K. So both teams having somebody going spectacular, outputting damage for their team, looking for a chance to use that drop. Detox has the active, so if anybody rolls into his sight line, he'd get a quick use out of it. Switches over to the snub now, knows that one person's trying to push in. That's going to be Powers. Powers on the outside. Detox rolls up, gets another kill onto him, and Rise, as of late, has been extraordinarily successful with their kills and their hills and their retakes. And now, looks like they're going to start rotating over to that hotel hill, and Avexys will pick up the shot on his way there.
Yeah, he's just holding on to that drop shot as well. Detox has not fired out just yet, and you kind of see the difference. Shot grenade is going to get them off of that spot we were talking about. So no contesting the hill from you, and the drop shot being able to travel up ground, or at least upward, as opposed to the boom shot to where you'd have to be picture perfect. There goes one over the top. That's going to be a triple kill. Even though one of them was Avexys, that's going to go ahead and allow them to build on this lead. Kenny is doing what he can, try to make sure to affect the fight elsewhere, but this is where they can take advantage. Kenny's stuck by himself. Reinforcements are on the way, though. eUnited, they're contesting this hill. 21 seconds. That's the lead Rise possesses, and we're only halfway through the game.
You see how eUnited, they're spread out a little bit. Rushiez hits a big body shot there, but the up A from Demise will at least trade out with one player and keep it kind of matched up. But they get the call out. The two players are over there. So now eUnited tries to push in here to try to take a 3v2, but Icy is just too big and too strong right now. He's getting every kill on God's green earth, and the Lancer fire from the top helps solidify the last two. And like I said, coming into this one, Rise has the pressure on them to win this map, much less about eUnited. They have kind of the ability to play around a little bit. They still have another map to go. They're guaranteed a map 5 if they lose this one, because they get to see Tomb. They are in the lead at 2-1 Hills, but Rise, I like the fight out of them, the game out of them, showing up here in map 4, giving eUnited all they've got. One player mounted up in that back cinema area, waiting for the next hill to spawn. It'll be Icy, and Icy has been fantastic thus far in this round. Kenny with a kill, bouncing around, tries to get another shot off on Detox, can't get that one to go. So now it'll be 3v3 on the map, officially. Here comes Icy for the retake inside of the cinema.
Ammo.
Yeah, he got the ammo off. Yep.
Oh, that's a big play from Detox to get the ammo. Now it's about surviving here in this situation. Let your teammates die. You got to go ahead and realize you have the biggest weapon of them all. In a few short seconds, they're going to come out for respawn. And now it's about gathering the information. Icy spawns down low, which is great for go ahead and splitting things up. Now it's about figuring out where these players are set up out and where you want to narrow down that drop shot to really break through the defense and allow your teammates, allow your slayers to continue to thrive in this situation. And they got to do it sooner rather than later. They don't want to let eUnited tie this game up and talk about this one is rather close. Drop shot connecting with Demise over the top. This is the opening that Rise needs. With that man advantage, you got to continue to stagger out the deaths. Keep that advantage in your favor. Another down coming through. Players getting popped over the top. TJ is going to drop. Avexys gets another one onto Powers. The revives are there, but the angles are there as well from Rise. Rushiez not biting off more than he can chew. Immediately turns to try to reposition himself, because that was a massive shot that was fired off.
Flash out Rushiez will go in for the big body shot, gets it and gets some help from the middle. Now it's Rushiez versus Kenny. Double bounce out. Kenny gets the down onto him. And 14 seconds left on this hill. And it looks like eUnited's trying to set up from the top side of the stairwell yet again. 234 to 178. So you're looking at a 50 to 60 point advantage. Almost greater than that now. 60 points or so. And as this next hill is about to spawn, Kenny has to be careful not to get rotated on. Shots onto Rushiez. Avexys also pulling up into the inside of that juice and doesn't get the stun onto Rushiez, so he gets easily clapped out. And now they're going to have a couple of different flank angles, and it looks like Detox, bottom side of the map. Only 5 deaths for Detox in this map thus far. 19 and 5 with 16k damage. Rise has been putting eUnited to the bricks since eUnited went up by about 100 points earlier in this map. It has been all Rise for the rest of it, and they are on their way to a victory here in map 4.
I said it for United. It's not how you start, it's how you finish in map number 3. Now, it's not how you start for Rise, it's how you finish, and they're having a strong finish. Almost 200 to about 50. That's just a rough estimate to go down. That they've been outscored through the second half of this game, and they are now so close they can taste it, finding even more eliminations around the map. Make that a total of 2. Finding a chance to take out Demise. Kenny gets Rushiez and gets the drop shot, so now Kenny has to survive. Even if he uses this drop shot, what some people would think ill-advised, it's about not letting it go into enemy hands. Up base, takes out another one. Shut down, though. This comes a distraction for TJ to get the down, but now it's Rushiez. He's trying to get the angle, trying to find the down, but he just backs up. He knows the hill is coming to him, and they only need 14 seconds.
And you see him continuing to play out. Icy will get that down from the inside of the spawn area. He's going to pull up and try to get another kill here. Powers is stuck on this cubby against 2 players from Rise, and he's going to go down. Big up A comes out. Here comes Avexys again, another rotation out. You see eUnited trying everything in their power to stay alive in this situation. Kenny is going to have to be the stalwart for his squad yet again and hope that he can try to come back against this. He's going to have to rotate back to his teammate. Flash is going to come out. Smokes are going to rotate around. Look at the way that they're playing this out. Avexys plays from outside in. Lancer out. They get 2 more downs. 10 seconds to go. Powers trapped here and gets shot from the top. 10 seconds to go. Demise all the only one alive and in position to even get a neutralization. They're not going to let him get close. Rise. They are going to finish off a map 4 with a great performance from 100 points down at one point to winning by well within hand. They tie the series up 2-2. We will go to a map 5. Execution on Tomb. Who's going to win it? Rise or eUnited? Don't go anywhere. We're going to find out right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports, day number 2. We are in the midst of a big map 5 getting ready to kick off here to finish our night between Rise and eUnited.
And this is, just watch the replays. Even I am still mesmerized. Look at right now at this point in the replay, 145 to 22. A massive comeback victory for Rise overall. And honestly, there are just too many moments, too many big moments into that one to kind of narrow down to one. You got to think overall, as a big cohesive team effort, they just stopped missing shots. They stopped missing shots. They stopped complaining. They definitely tightened up.
And I really love the fact that toward the end of that map, we really saw the best of Rise. The way that they were able to really rain chaos on eUnited. They kept chaos on, or they kept eUnited on the back foot. They were finding angles, finding shots, finding kills all over the place. Left, right, up, down, and center. There was nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. And this thing has been back and forth. 100-point club in the first map for eUnited, 300 to 198. And then Rise finished them off 6-3. We go to a map 9 that eUnited takes away and get the win 5-4. And then just now, 96-point differential for Rise. They win at 300 to 204. And we come here to Tomb. We saw Rise last night on this map in this setting. A map 5 on Tomb. It was against Oxygen, though. But they come away with a dub. Do you see anything different coming out here?
I mean, you're just putting the pressure on me, and I had my predictions. 3-2 in favor of A, B, C, D, eUnited. So I gotta think. I don't want to be one of those guys that flip flops. I'll take my losses, admit where I'm wrong, but I said it was gonna be 3-2. This one would be too close to call, so I gotta think eUnited, no matter if it's 6-5 or 6-0, have to come out on top. And if my predictions, man, I need this, man. I'm trying to go back to back to back. It's like some players here in Gear Esports.
Did you pick the Knights to win second series?
No, I'm talking about I won 2 splits ago. I won last split in prediction.
Okay.
I'm trying to go back to back to back. My record this season.
I was like, wait, what?
I have the same type of record.
You were talking big picture. You were talking big picture. It's all right, baby. It's all right. I'm with you now. Smoke's out. Avexys will see Kenny try to pressure up. TJ on the outside of that cubby will get some shots put onto him. Nobody down just yet, but a lot of damage being put out. Powers trying to answer back here against Icy, but he can't. Now Powers is down. And Rushiez will pick him up. Kenny rotates into that fight, gets the kill there on a Rush. Detox with a snipe in hand, trying to find the next shot. It'll be Demise versus 3 here in round number 1.
Yeah, I get it. Demise don't want to stress out, trying to clutch it up. The angles are there. Let's just move on to the next. And honestly, as much as I want to say, hey, I want to at least see some effort go down, this is game number 5. It's straight to business, and they want to go straight to the next round to make the adjustments necessary. And honestly, I'm going to be looking at Rise here in certain situations to kind of throw some trick strats, throw some audibles, throw some different adjustments at their opposition of eUnited. And I think a lot of that focus could come down to the bottom. Could.
See what Kenny does here as he comes to the middle. He's going to get tagged up a little bit. He's going to put shots onto Icy there as he comes into that brick, throws a smoke at him. TJ will get taken out in the back cubby of the tomb. Demise has to back off now. Long shot will be picked up by Detox. Powers will get cleaned up down there as well. They're going to have to get Powers some help. That's 2 rounds in a row. Powers has kind of been held down and has not been able to get any kind of help for his team. Kenny goes for the quick pick there on the Torque to have at least a chance with a power weapon. For Rise, they went back-to-back rounds. They're up 2-0, 4 rounds away from getting a 3-2 victory over eUnited.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. They need to get some help towards the Torque bow side of the map, whether they kind of have somebody hold Powers' hand in terms of when they roll out a spawn and go towards that side of the map, and then Powers gets in the positioning and the Lancer is there, or they double Lancer their opposition, trying not to let them go ahead and step through, because that's what Rise is doing. They're sending 2 players directly over, and the help is there for Rushiez. As you see Powers kind of taking his time this time around, not trying to take too much damage, but it's Kenny who finds himself the target this time around. Multiple angles, multiple Lancers, forcing a quick revive to go through, and now it's Avexys and Rise on the back foot. Nobody getting the elimination just yet as Icy finally draws first blood. He takes out Demise, trying to make the rotation over. TJ and Kenny both fall, and Powers now by himself in a 1v2, and he immediately, in the blink of an eye, gets shut down by Rushiez.
3 rounds back-to-back. Rise dominating map number 5. They are well on their way to closing this out. eUnited, they need to change something up, and they need to change something up quick.
This is looking like eUnited just almost non-existent here in this matchup. Most important map of the match. Kenny goes down early. Kenny going down early. Flash grenades are there. Players are stunned left and right. Back-to-back downs. Kenny is a focal point for the offense of Rise. Free Torque bow up for grabs. Rushiez go ahead and gets the splash damage off. Demise gets taken out. Only a down so far. Avexys hasn't even been cleaned up because he was revived back into the action and takes down Kenny. Powers falls immediately afterwards. 4-0 in the blink of an eye, Colin.
It is not looking good for eUnited. They can't find an answer here for Rise and anything they have done.
Who did Reflections vote for?
Reflections.
I feel like
we all went eUnited. All 4 of us did.
Oh no.
We all went eUnited. We. You know what? We should have known better. Should have. Confirmed Reflections curse. Look, I should have known better. after Reflections talked all that crap about Icy yesterday, I should have known that Icy was going to just be showing up left, right, and center this week. I'm just telling you.
Right there, a back aid, just taking out Kenny right before our eyes, giving Rushiez the torque bow yet again. And honestly, what a better duo to have this round under, or at least the opportunity. They had some of these slowest starts during their map losses. We wanted to see them pick it up. They picked it up tenfold, taking that map number 4, not only forcing this 5th and final map, but going up 4-0 because it is Powers. He's coming to target Kenny as well with his hot start. He's coming to target in the middle. They're just not letting eUnited breathe.
TJ has the long shot in hand, and they're going to have to rotate to the bottom now because there is going to have to be a 2v2 fight over that final hill, which is at the bottom. Icy will have the torque. Rushiez will be holding the close spawn point.
See, I want to say Torquebo has the advantage, but I'm not even sure. I've seen some amazing headshots today alone, let alone throughout the past couple of splits, past couple of seasons. Well, bye to that sniper opportunity.
I'd say, you see how TJ just stopped?
Well, bye to the clutch opportunity.
One round. One round away.
5-0. What?
Look at this. Okay. Okay. Wait for it. Okay. Demise walks into it.
He's slowly just walking. Hey, that ain't gonna get me. Oh, well, it did. Perfection is a must. Perfection is a must from eUnited. Unique roster being put together here. What can they do now with the backs up against the wall, having to beat perfection in the next couple rounds? TJ gets that first down on Avexys. Misroll from Detox. They aren't able to take advantage, but he gets taken out. Trades back and forth. Kenny and Powers versus Icy and Rushiez yet again. And Powers goes down. Powers goes down. Kenny versus Icy for the game for eUnited. And Kenny gets shut down. Rise have completed the 6-0 game number 5 utter domination. He makes them back out. Rise do it. They complete the upset. Whew. I can't believe it, Colin. I cannot believe it. I don't know how Powers went down in that position. I don't know how eUnited come out so flat, but Rise have definitely shown up here today to shut up all the haters, man. Whew.
Hey, yo, what? I mean, hey, so they got 6-0, brother. They got beat up. They got beat up and finished off with a kung fu kick to the face. My man, wow. I hit him with the crane kick. He didn't just like, yo, oh my God, I just thought about it. That would have been so nice if it was a Sweet Chin music, though. Like, crane kick, cool, but Sweet Chin music would have been baller right there against the back of the wall. Come on, man. Make it happen. Make it happen now.
Oh,
now I'm sad. I mean, I was sad. I was sad a few moments ago, but I'm like sadder now.
I question the amount of rust. I personally, like I said, doesn't mean they haven't been practicing. Haven't personally seen him in E-Days. Haven't seen too much of the streams in their usual wager matches even. Haven't seen a lot of these players participating. I thought they had a lot of rust to really shake off, especially after going down 2-1 in this series. But maps number 4, I think map number 4 was the biggest momentum shift, and honestly they have woken up. Down over 100+ points, they come back and dominate eUnited to force the game number 5, and they take it a step further. They shut them out. They made them look like they were still trying to qualify for the Pro League.
I mean, that was fantastic, brother. Like, I'm in awe at how well they played the last, like, 7.5 minutes worth of gears. Just too good. Like, the end of the control. And none of these rounds went over, like, a minute. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the extra 2.5 minutes on that last control map still count, right?
Yeah, that down to come. Oh, that was such a big down from Icy. It was so crucial because he had his own 1v1 right in front of him, and he heard the call outs, and that goes to show the years, the amount of experience these players have with Icy and Rushiez for him to turn, forget about his 1v1 at the drop of a hat, and get that Lancer down on Powers. And I mean it when I said it. That man at the beginning of the show, you can go ahead and rewind, watch the VOD. Icy, one of the most clutch players in Gears esports history. He comes up clutch yet again. And not enough can be said for this Rise roster when their backs are up against the wall to come out on top. Throughout this regular season, Colin, only 10 teams instead of 12. I have been entertained 2 out of 2 days.
I have commentated 5 series yesterday and today. I've seen 25 maps, brother. I've seen 25 maps in 5 series. I ain't never gonna get a 3-0 again in my life.
Man, you pulling the double shift, you pulling the night shift at this point. I know you on the East Coast. It's 11:17, skipping dinner. Now you need the midnight snack. You definitely deserve it.
I'm gonna be up in bed. I'm gonna be up in bed crying. eUnited lost. Like I have my big bowl of ice cream, just crying into a chocolate syrup on my bed. I just gonna be.
Oh man,
ooh, why they beat him up like that? Why Icy kick his head off, man? Look at these tears. They're real.
I'm just waiting for the tweet from Rise. Somebody better check on Colin. Somebody better make sure that man is okay. And they earned it. They earned the right call. All you gotta do, if they tweet, you just don't even just hit the like button.
I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm just gonna keep it simple, baby, and move on with my life. I'm telling you, man. I'm so impressed with how well Rise's team fire was going on those last 2 maps. When they started to heat up on the control, and then on this one, it seemed like every time somebody thought they had a 1v1, they was wrong. I was wrong, they were wrong, and it was just that map awareness, that map presence, just too much to overcome, because if you're willing to put your life on the line, I talk about it all the time, man. I talk about it all the time. If you're willing to die to help your teammate, like with 1 or 2 extra shots, it almost always pays off. It's almost always a better gamble, man, because you give yourself a chance to have your teammate win a 1v. And if you survive whatever shot they throw at you and you roll back, now you're just in a better position. You're now in a 4v3.
I gotta wonder right now. I know we're still calculating standings towards the outside or towards the back end. I know we're trying to only 2 days so far, Colin, but man, enough can't be said. Enough can't be said, regardless of what these results have shown. I think Rise is making a case for team of the week. They have probably a case for some players of the week on their side, but I know there's a lot of deliberation, a lot to still find out. Probably I know I want to rewatch the VOD myself. These matches were so exciting. I even feel like, you know how when you watch a movie so many times, you discover little things. I feel like if we were to do that here, Colin, we discover little moments that really changed up the big picture of things.
Well, right now, we've seen Oxygen get the 3-0. Pioneers and Elevate go all the way to map 5. Pittsburgh and Rebel go to map 5. Noble, they drop a map over to Fire and Ice. So that's a little bit of an interesting result, if you ask me, based on the fact that yesterday eUnited just wiped the floor with them. Rise, though, again, another map 5 for them. Back-to-back days in both of their matches go to map 5. Once to Oxygen, once to eUnited, but they both end up on Tomb Execution, and they get the dub there where it's needed. I really am impressed with the way Rise comes out 2-0 in week 1, as well as Noble. Both of those teams starting off extraordinarily hot.
Yeah, you can't be enough said. I think that Pittsburgh Knights Rebel matchup was kind of one of my favorite ones to watch besides the Rise versus eUnited. But honestly, I'll say the same thing. I was kind of thinking to myself yesterday, Elevate. Enough can't be said. And we say it every single split. There's usually a couple players. There's usually a full roster that comes into this pro league and really makes some noise. And I believe Elevate could be that roster this season. They upset the Pittsburgh Knights yesterday. They took Pioneers down to the wire. Honestly, we could have possibly seen an upset opportunity today with them taking out the Pioneers. But for them, it was just a learning lesson. And honestly, my eyes will be glued on you, Elevate.
Well, I'll tell you right now, your eyes are going to be glued to Elevate, and everybody should be glued to these standings, because after today, we're going to see a big mix-up with a bunch of 1-1s there in the middle, holding down the 3 through 6 spot. But right now, Noble and Rise are at top of your standings at 2-0. Noble having the inch hair mark with 7% increase of map win percentage. But right now, talk of the town has to be the fact that Pittsburgh Knights and Pioneers sitting there at the bottom half of the standings.
It's too early. It's too early, though. Will we continue to see that? I don't know. But Fire and Ice Hive, if you guys are kind of tuning in for the first time this season, maybe missing yesterday, missing some announcements, a couple of different rosters starting off 0-2, not the best start that they wanted. But Colin, you know what I love about this entire thing so far that I've seen? Is just the entire package. The entire Gears esports package just looks amazing. I love to see the streaks on the right side. We know who's starting off the season hot. No matter if they have like an 8-2 record, we might see them on a 2-loss streak. I like to see how they progress. What have you done for me lately is one of the things that I've always seen. And right now, Gears esports has done a lot for me lately.
You know, I gotta have friends in this community. You know how I know that?
How?
Drix has already tweeted at me checking up on me. He said, I'm checking up on you this time. So I've got friends. At least he's checking up on me. He got the text from me. Yo, check up on your boy, man. I don't got the time to send the tweet today. I know you're out there watching these matches. Just go ahead and hit send. I should have known better. Like, as much as I love eUnited, after watching what Avexys did yesterday, or not, after watching both of them, Avexys and Detox, after seeing what Detox did yesterday, I should have known that man was on a different level this week. I mean, he only died 5 times in that district matchup against eUnited. I should have known something was in the water out there and that they were going to go big this week. But if you think this week's matches were goods, if you think this week was hype, wait till you see our schedule for next Tuesday. Bring that sucker up.
Oh my God. Elevate and Fire and Ice. Oxygen versus eUnited. That one's going to be big. You saw how strong Oxygen played and how eUnited is going to have to bounce back. And then Rise versus PK, Pioneers versus Hive, and Noble versus Rebel. This is going to look like almost pay-per-view matches every single week you guys tune into Gears Esports.
This is going to be a hell of a Tuesday evening for a lot of people out there.
For?
That Rise and Pittsburgh Knights matchup. Pittsburgh Knights look glorious in their comeback victory. They reverse sweep Rebel. Rise, they've gone to nothing but map 5s. Knights gone nothing to map 5s. Those two teams are going to fight like their life depends on it. Oxygen, eUnited. That's going to be a good, all these matches top to bottom. If you ain't here on Tuesday, what are you doing with your life? Where are you at? Because the hype is right here. The hype is on twitch.tv/Xbox featuring Gears Esports Pro League Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This is where it's at. This is the place to be. You better believe that when I say that.
Colin, hey, you're at the end of it. Yeah, you're running. Yeah, you're running on fumes right now. I can tell you. You're just running on fumes right now. Hey, but what you said is not wrong. This is definitely the place to be. Almost something for you guys out there for Gears Esports fans. Every day of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, you got Pro League. Thursdays, you have E-Days. Fridays, you have Astro Battles. Saturdays, you get to watch the ladies, the men's counterparts, battle out in the Pro League of their own by Metro Esports. And on Sundays, that's when we begin that week again. All our challenger players fighting for that shot, not only to be the best challenger team, but 2 teams from this Pro League at the bottom of the standings at the end of the season will have to fight against the top challenger teams through seeding to earn their spots either back or earn a fresh spot into the Pro League. So I say every single season, if you guys have what it takes to compete with the best of the best, why aren't you guys out there battling it out with the best of the best?
That's a good question, and that'll be answered at a different time. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much for joining us for Gears Pro League Week 1, Days 1 and 2. It's been a blast. I've seen 25 maps in 2 days. Thankfully, Reflections gave me a little bit of a break, but I love each and every one of you, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for E-Days.